my video off going the wrong way. Got to get on the right track, just like the stock market. That's pretty funny. I think I'm going to leave this as the opening. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for jumping into another video. My name is Josh, and I'm just your average Joe day trader. And it is about midday. It's not the end of the market day where I normally like to do my videos, but I wanted to jump in and share with you a few things. And hopefully you get to see this before the market closed, because there's some big stuff going on right now. First, Trump is live. He's live. He's at the Saudi something convention. I don't know exactly what it is, but he's talking live. I logged in there real quick to take a look and see what he was talking about. He's talking about the windmills in the United States are dead. They're garbage, right? He's working on that. He's talking about approval of construction projects, which I agree with. Like, there have been some massive major construction projects that countries from around the world have invested in with different businesses here in the United States, and then they go to, an approval process that takes years. And from what I understand, some of these approval processes go 5, 10, 15 years. And then what ends up happening is the investors give up, the people that design it, the architects, they all give up, and everybody ends up giving up, and it gets nowhere. Well, now Trump has said, hey, I'm approving those, and he's approving them within a few days, within a few weeks. And that's big. That's good for the United States, good for manufacturing, good for production, good for businesses. So I'm all about that. I'm glad to hear that. And it's definitely something that is taking place. And where I live in South Florida, there's construction all over the place, new home communities, businesses, retail outlets. And that's really good for the economy, because it creates jobs and it creates these affordable places for people to live. Although where I live, housing is not so affordable unless you're a retiree coming down, or you've sold the house somewhere in like New York, New Jersey, or one of the very expensive states, and you bring that money down here and you use it to buy and pay off a property here, or at least get the majority of it paid off. But anyway, wanted to tell you a few things. First of all, for me today and in the Discord, I got in and out of APLD. I got in at about $23 and got out at about $24.12, somewhere around there before the turn. The market's pulling back a little bit right now. And one of the questions that came up in the Discord was, why is everything pulling back? Okay, well, we had an incredible run this morning. The quantums were running this morning. Most stocks had a decent lift and run this morning. Okay, Tesla was running this morning. Rigetti was running this morning. Some really good names that were pumping this morning. Yeah, so we hit a point in the late morning afternoon where now the market's starting to pull back a little bit. I wonder if there's a tie to Trump getting up live in front of the microphone, but I don't know how long he's been talking for, so I couldn't tell you that. But I do know that the S&P 500 was on a nice run this morning as well. So now here we are, midday, and things are pulling back a little bit, and that's totally fine. My answer in the Discord was about, why are things pulling back? I much rather would see a nice launch and a good pump out of the gate, running up through into the afternoon, and then a pullback, because chances are, come later in the day, as we get closer into later in the afternoon, most of the stocks will most likely turn and start to the continuation of what happened this morning and running up. So a few things to share with you. I believe there's not going to be any jobs data tomorrow, so that's not going to be something that's going to affect the market up or down. But I also wanted to make sure that I shared with you, and I am in NVDX. I bought a position in it last night at market close. I bought shares, right? Not a call, not a put, but I bought shares in NVTX, which is the NVIDIA, one of the NVIDIA 2Xs, and doing very good so far. Did pull back a little bit today after the market launched, and then it's pulling back a little bit, but NVIDIA earnings today after close, and everybody's sentiment on it is it's going to be huge. We'll wait and see, because how many companies, most of the tech companies that had great earnings results, ended up pulling back at the results itself. So a little bit unusual, but let's wait and see what NVIDIA does. And for all the naysayers out there that keep saying the AI bubble is bursting, and we'll see what happens with the AI bubble, well, NVIDIA probably will give us some direction on AI overall, because as NVIDIA goes, so does the market. If NVIDIA's earnings are incredible and it pumps, then potentially it's going to pull the market back with it, including my favorite friend, the S&P 500. And if not, and it drops and it dumps, then yes, we need to be looking at our charts, understanding our next levels of support, so we can figure out what's the right time to take profit, secure profit, and get out of positions, or get out of positions not to bag hold as they continue to run down. So wanted to throw that out there to you all today. I hope you're having an awesome day. It is a beautiful day down here. Let's see, it's 86 degrees, wonderful weather. It doesn't feel like 86 degrees because there's a nice cool breeze going on through South Florida. But thank you so much for being here. If you're brand new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time we upload a new video. And also, if you are interested, go ahead and scan this QR code so you can get in and join the AJDT Discord, which is running awesome. Everybody in there is just contributing and really giving some good data, sharing about plays, etc. Anyway, you got to be in there to really gain the perspective of what's happening in our Discord. But now's the time. Also, look for later tonight. I'm going to be posting a video about Joby, ticker symbol JOBY. Joby Aviation, incredible company, doing some really good things, connected with Uber, backed by Toyota, working with Delta. That's all I'll say about it. Watch that video when it releases, but you're not going to want to miss it because I'm sharing some news that came out recently. Very cool, and I'm more excited about it. I'm a long-term holder for JOBY, and you should be looking at it too. Throw it on your watch list. Look for that video later today. God bless you. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great rest of your day. We will see you tomorrow for the next market update. Josh out. Peace.